Hi, today we are going to discuss about another chapter, that is the cell. What is the cell? Cells are the basic unit of life. All the living things, plants and animals, are made up of cells. Let us take a small example. A house is made up of bricks. So in this case, these bricks are considered as the building blocks of house. In the same way, the cells are also considered as the building blocks of living organisms. What is a cell? Exactly, what is a cell? A cell is the smallest unit of life, which it have a specific structure and also it performs a specific function. As all the living organisms are made up of cells, but the cells are varied in their number, shape and size according to the organism. So next one is number of the cells. Number of the cells is varied between organisms. There are some organisms which are made up of only one cell. They are called unicellular organism. The best example of unicellular organism is bacteria. And there are some organisms which are made up of large number of cells. They are called multicellular organism. The best example of multicellular organisms are human beings. The next one is shape of the cell. Shape of the cells is also varies in organism. For example, in multicellular organisms, there are many types of cells are present. All these cells are different in their shapes. If we consider this nerve cell, red blood cell and muscle cell, even though all these are called cells, but they are different in their shapes. For example, if we take a nerve cell, it is very long and it is thread-like and also it is having branch-like structures. Whereas if we talk about this red blood cells, it is spherical in shape, and this muscle cell, it had two pointed ends. So all these three different cells have three different shapes and also they perform their own function. If we take the nerve cell, what is the function of this nerve cell? It just receives and transmits the information from the brain to our body parts. And these red blood cells, it carries oxygen to the body with the help of blood. And next, this muscle cell, it allows the movement of our body. Whereas coming to the white blood cells, they have an irregular shape and it eats up the bacteria which is entered into the blood. And these white blood cells, it protect our body against diseases. And the next factor is size of the cell. Size of the cell is also varies from organism to organism. Although these cells are very small in size, they cannot be seen with the help of our naked eye and they can be seen only with the help of microscope. The smallest cell among all those cells are bacteria, which its length is about 0.1 micrometer to 0.5 micrometer. The example of big cell is hen's egg. This can see directly without microscope. And the best example of biggest cell is ostrich egg. And it measures about 17 centimeter length. The next topic is basic structure of a cell. Every cell contains smaller parts in it. Some of the parts are present in all the types of cells, whereas certain parts are present only in the plant cell but not in the animal cell. For example, cell wall is one component which is found only in the plant cell but not in the animal cell. But there are some basic parts which are present in all the types of cells. Let us go in detail. Some parts of the cell which are commonly present in all the cells are cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus and mitochondria. But some parts of the cells which are present only in the plants are cell wall, chloroplast and vacuole. First, we will know about this cell membrane. This is the cell. The cell is covered by a thin sheet called as a cell membrane. This is the cell and this cell is covered by a thin sheet. This is called cell membrane. And this cell membrane, it protects the cell as well as it gives particular shape to the cell. This cell membrane, it has a tiny pores in it. And this cell membrane, it controls the movement of substances into and out of the cell. The dissolved substances such as food and oxygen, it enters into the cell for its activity, and in return the waste like carbon dioxide, it gets out from the cell with the help of cell membrane. And this cell membrane, it separates the cell from one another. And this cell membrane is also called as plasma membrane. And the next one is cytoplasm. This cytoplasm is transparent and jelly-like substance present inside the cell. And all the chemical reactions occurs in this cytoplasm to remain the cell in live condition. So this is the total cell, and all this matter, which is jelly-like structure, that is called cytoplasm. In this cytoplasm, it contains many tiny like structures called organelles. Different kinds, many organelles are present in this cytoplasm, and each organelle performs its specific function. Even though there are many organelles present in the cytoplasm, there is one important organelle present in the cytoplasm is nucleus. So let us go into the nucleus. Nucleus is a very prominent organelle, and it plays a very important role in the cell. It controls all the activities of the cell, and this nucleus is round, spherical in shape. This nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane called this nuclear membrane, and this nuclear membrane have pores in it, and these pores helps to exchange the matter between the cytoplasm and the nucleus. Inside the nuclear membrane, there is a dense matter called nucleoplasm. So the nuclear membrane is filled with a dense material called nucleoplasm. In the nucleoplasm, there is a tiny round-like structure called nucleolus. Inside the nucleoplasm, there is a tiny round-like structure called nucleolus. And here, in the nucleolus, there are thread-like structure, it is called chromatin fibers. After the cell division occurs, these fibers, they become thick and they form a structure called chromosomes. And these chromosomes, they carry the genetic information from parents to the offsprings. This nucleus is different in its position in animal cell and in plant cell. In the animal cells, this nucleus lies in the center of the cell. Whereas in the plant cell, this nucleus, it lies at the edge of the cell. Next organelle is endoplasmic reticulum. This endoplasmic reticulum is a irregular network of tubules which are interconnected with each other. And this organelle endoplasmic reticulum is attached to the outer membrane of nucleus. That is, it is attached to the nuclear membrane. So, depend upon the presence and absence of ribosomes on the surface of endoplasmic reticulum, it is classified into two types: rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. If there is a presence of ribosome on the surface of endoplasmic reticulum, it is called rough endoplasmic reticulum. Where here we can see that there are no ribosomes that are attached to the surface of this. So this part is called smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Especially this organelle endoplasmic reticulum, it gives a lot of internal support to the cells, and also it serves as a pathway. It distributes the material within a cell or in between the two cells. The next organelle is ribosomes. There are very minute structures which are attached to the surface of endoplasmic reticulum, and they do not have any membrane, but they help to synthesize the proteins. Here ribosomes are very minute structures which are attached to the surface of endoplasmic reticulum. They do not have membrane and they help to synthesize proteins. And the next organelle is mitochondria. It is rod shaped like organelle present in all the cells, and it provides all the energy needed for the cell for its activities. For this reason, this mitochondria is also called as a powerhouse of the cell. The energy required for the cell is obtained by the mitochondria with the process called respiration. In this process, the glucose is broken down by oxygen. Thus, this mitochondria uses oxygen and glucose to produce energy. There are large number of mitochondria are present in the cytoplasm in all the cells. The next organelle is cell wall. Particularly this organelle cell wall, it is present only in the plant cell and it is not present in the animal cell. And this cell wall is very thick, present only in the plant cell. It acts as an outer covering for the plant. And this thick cell wall is made up of cellulose. It protects the plant from any physical damages such as high wind, extreme hot and cold conditions. And this cell wall, it provides strength to the plant. As the plants are fixed in one position, they cannot move to a safer place from the physical changes which are occurring in our surroundings. The next organelle is Golgi bodies. These Golgi bodies are membrane bounded and they are flat and they are having pouch-like structures which are parallel to each other. But these parallel-like structures, they do not connect with each other. And these pouches-like structures are called as cisternae. And this organelle is also found in the cytoplasm near to the nucleus and next to the endoplasmic reticulum. And these Golgi bodies are also called as dicortisomes. And these Golgi bodies are absent in bacteria as well as also they are absent in red blood cells. Next, we will discuss about what are the functions of this Golgi bodies. The functions of this Golgi bodies are, it helps to synthesize some enzymes and proteins, and also it helps in the formation of cell wall in plant cells. And this Golgi bodies, it also involved in the transport of substances within the cell. And the next organelle is lysosomes. These lysosomes are small spherical sac-like structures, and these lysosomes are membrane bounded. In this membrane, they have some powerful enzymes, and these powerful enzymes are made up of rough endoplasmic reticulum. Because of the powerful enzymes are present in these lysosomes, these enzymes are capable of digesting any foreign particle like bacteria and virus which enters into our body when our body prone to infections. So this lysosomes, it plays very important role when our body prone to any other infection. As these lysosomes are capable of destroying the foreign particles like bacteria and virus, these lysosomes are considered as disposal garbage system of a cell. And also these lysosomes are also called as suicide bags of cells, because when this lysosome structure had broken down, the enzymes present in the membrane will eat up their own cells of this lysosome. That is why these lysosomes are also called as suicide bags of cells. The next organelle is centrosome. Centrosome, it is an oval or it is a round shaped organelle. It has no membrane. It is found near the nucleus in the cytoplasm. And this organelle called centrosome, which is present only in the animal cells. In the centrosome, there are two minute granules called as centrioles. And this centrosome, it helps in the cell division of animal cells. Next organelle is plastids. In the cytoplasm of a plant cell, there are some organelles which contains pigment. They are called plastids. And these plastids are of three types. They are chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. First we know about this chloroplast. These chloroplasts are green colored organelle. It is having its green color because it contains a green colored pigment called chlorophyll. And this chloroplast organelle is found only in the plant cell but not in the animal cell. Because of having a green color pigment called chlorophyll, the process of photosynthesis occurs in these plants. As we already know that plant prepare its own food and that process is called photosynthesis. Let us go in detail. As this chloroplast is having the pigment called chlorophyll, this chlorophyll, it absorbs the sunlight. So in the chloroplast, the carbon dioxide, it mixes with the water with the presence of sunlight and it prepares its own food in the form of glucose. And this process is called photosynthesis. This entire process of photosynthesis occurs in the chloroplast region of the plant cell. And this chloroplast is found only in the green leaf part of a plant, and this chloroplast is not found in the root part of a plant. And these plastids or the organelles which are found only in the plant cell but not in the animal cells. Next one is chromoplast. These chromoplast also contains many colored pigments except the green one. These chromoplasts are found in fruits and also in the petals of flower. These chromoplasts, they are responsible for giving colors such as red, yellow and orange. And the next form of plastid is leucoplast. Out of all the three kinds of plastids, this plastid called leucoplast, it does not contain any colored pigment. So these leucoplasts are also called as colorless plastids. But this leucoplast, it helps in storing the food which is prepared by the plants in the form of starch, fats and proteins. The next organelle is vacuole. When we see the cytoplasm of a cell, we can find a space in the center of a cell that is called vacuole. And this vacuole is membrane bounded. When we see the cytoplasm under the microscope, this vacuole appears like an empty space. And this vacuole is filled with a liquid that is called cell sap. This cell sap, it helps the plant to be very firm and strong. This vacuole, it stores all the waste materials in the cell. And particularly this vacuole is found only in the plant cell and not in the animal cell. But in some animals, these vacuoles are also present. But in that case, for example, if we take an amoeba, amoeba is an animal cell. In the amoeba, we can find the vacuoles. But in the amoeba, these vacuoles appears in very smaller in size. Whereas in the plant cell, this vacuole, it stores all the waste material. But whereas in the case of amoeba, that is in the animal cell, this vacuole uses to store some food particles. So, the vacuoles which are present in the amoeba are called as food vacuoles. The next topic is difference between the animal cell and plant cell. In the animal cells, actually the animal cells are very small in size, but the cells which are present in the plant cells are larger when compared to the animal cells. Next difference is the cell wall is absent in the animal cells, but the cell wall is found in the plant cell. And this cell wall is made up of a material called cellulose. This cell wall in the plants, it helps the plant to be very strong. Next difference is plastids. Plastids are absent in animal cells and plastid organelles are present in the plant cells. And these plastids, they impart colors to the green leaves and also to the fruits and flowers. Next is vacuoles. Temporarily very small vacuoles are found only in some of the animal cells, not in all the animal cells. Only some animals have found this vacuoles, but almost all the plant cells are having a vacuoles. Next difference is only single unit of Golgi apparatus is found in the animal cell, but when comparing to the plant cell, many units of Golgi apparatus are found in the plant cells. So here in the plant cell, these Golgi apparatus are also called as a dichotosomes. Next one is, these animals are having centrosomes and centrioles. This centrosome in the animal cell, it helps in the cell division in the animal cells. But here the plant cells, they do not have centrosomes and centrioles.